exactly. I'm glad you made that point because I didn't make that point. So that's exactly correct. The HX tags and generally any kind of tag that we're going to talk about today are not something you can see on the page. The only thing that makes H1 or H2 tags or any what I call HX tags unique from a visibility standpoint is that they will generally have an associated size and font type, associated. So when somebody uses H1 behind the scenes, it will generally mean I want a 19-point Arial font text. So there might be visually you're going to see a difference in the HX tags, but you will not actually see the code. Those little brackets with the H1, that will not be seen by the user. And yes, each page, SEO is not an exact science. It's a strategy. It has tactics, but generally you're going to want to at least have some H1 tag on every single page, unless it's just not a page that's all that important to driving traffic to. So it might be something that's just a photo gallery, or it might have some video on it or something that is ancillary to really driving new leads that you don't have an H1 tag on.
Okay.
But generally speaking, most of your pages should have that. Okay?
All right.
How are we doing on time? Okay. Some of the other basic SEO rules, and I'll kind of run through these pretty quickly. Inbound link strategy is very important. If you're going to do any kind of link exchange, I highly recommend reaching out to other websites, other companies that are not in the same vertical, but maybe service the same vertical, so they're not in competition with you, but you can do a link exchange. I'd really focus on the quality of the site. So go for the bigger companies, go for the companies that have been around a long time, that have had websites out there for a long time, because the quality of that inbound link. So if somebody says, okay, well, I'll agree to link to your home page if you link to mine, if they're an inferior site or it's just a non-relevant site, if it's something like, you're in property management, but you rent, you actually go and you got a buddy that owns a car dealership, a used car dealership, you say, hey, let's do a link exchange. Not only is that not relevant, but it can actually hurt you. It can actually reduce your visibility in the search engines by linking to poor quality websites. So again, do a Google on that inbound link strategy. Stay away from link farms. Generally, they're bad news. They're low quality. You'll pay a little bit of money every month, and they'll say, okay, well, we'll link X number of sites to you. Stay away from them. They're bad news. So if you do them by yourself, you're good. Number 2, on-page links. Again, these are each page of your website. You really want to link to as many other pages within your website as possible, and really focus on the keywords. So if you have content that's talking about property management or a location, anything that's relevant that you think might be helpful in a keyword, link it to another page within your website that has additional information on that keyword. The general rule of thumb is to not have more than 100 links on any particular page that are linking to another page within your site. And the reason is because when those search engines come out and they scan your site, it can create such a maze of connections it has to make to index all those different links that it'll eventually stop registering those links. So there's kind of a max number. I usually try to keep mine at 50, between 35 and 50, but certainly under 100. The meta description is very important. That's the actual description tag. Again, you don't see it, but you want to really keep that to a maximum of 70 words or 350 characters. This will only mean something to people who are already kind of in the SEO world. So I'm gonna fly through these so we can get to some of the free tools and answer questions. Number 4, title tag. Again, maximum 11 words or 70 characters. Don't repeat your title tags on each page. Okay, that is a major no-no. It will penalize you in the search engine. So if your title tag is my company name property management, and then on every single other page you have my company name property management, that will hurt you. Try to make a unique title tag that is specific to the content on that page. Okay. All image tags, again, another type of tag. Those generally you just want to use keywords, and they're tied to any image that's on your website. every single image on your website should have an alt image tag. And some of the tools that I'm going to show you will show you all of this stuff with one click of a button. Do I have alt tags? Do I have duplicate title tags? Do I have the right number of words in my meta description? I'm going to show you really easy to use tools that will keep you from having to understand the specifics of each one of these and have to do it manually. Number 6, load time. You really want a high-performing website. My general rule of thumb is under 10 seconds. If you Google that, you'll get various responses out there. I ideally like to have it between 4 and 6 seconds, but if it's under 10 seconds, most of the search engines are not going to have a problem with that. If you have a really slow website and you're wondering why you're not getting a lot of traffic, that's why. The sitemap, again, we talked about, which tells engines what to crawl on your website, and then the robots.txt file tells the engines what not to crawl. Okay. Here's the meat and potatoes of it. And of course we use Google, but most of the search engines are broken out like this. These are some other search considerations. When you're planning your search engine optimization strategy, it's usually a good idea to understand all of the key areas, specifically in the search engines where people, when they type a keyword in or key phrase, where you potentially could be found. So in this example, I typed in property management companies, Tampa, Florida. And if you'll notice on the left-hand side, this is search engine marketing, SEM. Search engine marketing is when you pay pay-per-click generally to reside in the sponsored ads sections of the results page. So that's highlighted for you. It generally will have as many as 3 at the top. In this case, it only had 1. And then they drop down onto the right-hand side, and they go down the side of the page. Okay, so that's the paid area, and that's a search marketing. The next section is local business directories, and Google recently changed how they do